Welcome to my regular look at the WTI crude oil price action. Going to look at some fundamentals, some sentiment, and a whole load of charts. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell buttons. And with all of that, let's get on with the analysis. So first up, some sentiment based technical analysis indicators. At the bottom we got seasonality, and I would call it maybe flat to weak bullish there, but more importantly on this chart is the information above that. That's commitment of traders data. Red line is the large commercials, black line is the large speculators, and what I'm looking for here is the black line to be moving in conjunction with the price and the red line inverse to it, and that's what we see here. So to me that gives us a more bullish outlook based on that commitment of traders data. So Baker Hughes rig count numbers still looking bullish to me. Great for the sentiment, the overall feel for the energy oil production sector, and we can see change from prior count 0 and the change from last year 271. I focus on the US line there, and like I say, looking still pretty bullish. In my opinion, hard to use these numbers except for outliers, but for those that do use them, US crude oil inventories last week better than expected, minus 5.068 million barrels, and this week forecast minus 1.8 million barrels. Don't forget those numbers out Wednesday, and that's Wednesday afternoon UK time. So back into the regular technical analysis, weekly line chart here. I've left on the Fibonacci and some of the other drawings from the previous look at crude oil just to see how things have progressed, and as you can see we've got that breakout above the what you could call symmetrical triangle pattern there. Possible pullback to that support at around 116, top of Fibonacci there if things get a bit weaker. If not, back down towards the middle of that 2 standard deviation regression shaded area there, which is probably around about 106, 107, and then maybe use the Fibonacci lines below that as extra support areas if there's a pullback. But it's at the moment in open sky, blue sky area, possible further push on north. If you are still bullish, then the 4-line break chart still holding a bullish reversal play at the moment. Some numbers there for you to the upside, $120.50 and $124.60. Like I say, if you are still bearish for some short-term entry points. So into the daily high Kanashi, our signals at the bottom all looking bullish. Volatility down a bit from recent highs. It was as high as 60% now down into the early 20s. Volume quite flat as well. And heading on to the price, you can see our long-term probability box giving us 75% chance of a down move from these levels, but like I say, we tie that into the red dash lines, which is the institutional power zones, which is headbutting at the moment, which is a good sign for a possible reversal, but also an area of possible support for a move upwards. The big key factor there is the green shaded area below that, which is still bullish, so it's countering that short play, so neutral there at the moment. And we've also got a buy signal from the 2-line pink box breakout setup system. So at the moment though, still looking pretty bullish. Renko chart then, $1 block size used. All our signals are bullish. Trends a bit weaker in the shorter term from the latter part of, I suppose you could say, even March really, in terms of price action. It's just been steadily growing upwards. Now I put on the Fibonacci trend lines there to give us some idea of where price may be heading next, and to the downside there's a lot of noise to get back through, but those 2 red zones there I've highlighted, around $100 and say the mid 80s for potential move down. And upside, if it can consolidate here, hold itself, then really like I said earlier, it's into blue sky territory, $130, $140, even $150. Now I do get asked where you can trade WTI crude oil. Now if you're lucky enough to have a futures account in on the CME, that's the obvious area. If you can't do that from the States, then probably ETFs are for you, and I've got a broker called First Trade linked below if you want to have a look there. And if you want to do spread betting or CFD trading, which is probably most of the rest of the world, then there's plenty of options. I've got a broker here called Trade Nation, and just for showing you what it looks like, they for example have the July and August futures in spread trading with I think it's pretty decent leverage as well on there. So some ideas for you there if you want to directly trade the spot price of WTI. So based purely off the technicals, then I'm going for bullish overall at the moment. Some good strength there in both the Heikin Ashi and the Renko. The probability power score did show a down move, but you'd have to wait really till the T, that T box goes red before thinking about that. And the other variables like the commitment of traders all looking pretty positive as well. And in terms of targets, decent both ways. To the upside 2.28 to 1 and 4 to 1, and to the downside 1.86 and 2.86 to 1. But at the moment, based on those technicals, a pretty strong bullish picture at the moment. So volatility pretty quiet at the moment. Could that be a warning for a reversal down move or another jolt upwards, where we will see some interesting fundamentals at play also there at the moment? Love to hear what you think of crude oil, where it is heading next. Let me know in those comments below, and if you liked today's video, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell buttons, and all that's left for me to say is thanks for watching, good luck with the trading, and I'll see you in the next video.